Well, this is a great event for us. It's one of our signature events, and as you said, there are 49 entrepreneurs here from different countries around the world, and I mean around the world. And they're very focused not only on AI, but on cancer prevention, on so many things that help the world all the way around. It's something that we're very focused on. The companies that win, and they have to win in their regions and eventually in their countries to get to where I'm actually in Monaco to get to the big event here, where we're going to announce our big winner tonight at a gala event. And these companies have all done really well. This is actually our World Entrepreneur of the Year we've been doing for over 20 years. And there are many companies that have gone on to become multi-billion-dollar companies. Some of the companies here are relatively large already, some are smaller, but they're in fields that really help mankind and help the world, which is what's really exciting, whether that's sustainability, and yes, they are using AI for a lot of what they're doing. If you think about AI, it's going to improve so many different sectors, and that's something that we're focused on at EY as well. But very, very happy about what we're doing here, and the entrepreneurs, I spoke to a lot of them yesterday and last night. They couldn't be happier. Of course, they're all winners in their countries, but we will have one global winner tonight.
Carmine, as you know better than anyone, and anyone who's looking at backing these kind of companies, angels, VC, PE, what have you, their failure rate is absolutely enormous. Now, I appreciate the fact that these contestants have relatively large companies in some cases as well, but with a very, very high failure rate. Do you think at the moment, with the current environment and the repricing of money, that the failure rate actually is going to be at the top end of recent levels because of the pressures that are building globally?
Steve, I actually think the opposite, because money's much more restrictive than where it was, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago, that frankly money is chasing higher and higher end companies. And so capital is much more scarce. Capital is going to companies that truly have the ability to scale, the ability to really have a thriving business long term. So I actually think whoever is getting funding today will have a better chance at succeeding long term.
Carmine, good morning. It's Juliana here. Let me pivot, if I can, to Project Everest. This is obviously a huge deal for EY. The ambition to separate the businesses that was abandoned back in April. You were a big proponent of this plan. Talk to us about how you look back at it now that the company was forced to abandon it. You didn't have the support to go ahead, but at the time, you seemed like you were pretty steadfast in thinking this was the way forward for the business.
No, Juliana, thank you for asking that. And frankly, the strategic rationale on why we were doing Project Everest is still there today. And that's why we embarked on it over a year ago. We think the strategic rationale in terms of really getting away from so many conflicts that our business has, those conflicts have not gone away. We could not execute it at this time. We are very complicated. We're a partnership. Global partnerships around the world. We're not a corporate. I get this question all the time as chair and CEO, why couldn't you just get this done? It's very different in a global partnership, a series of partnerships where you have to really have consensus from people all around the world. And we couldn't quite get there this time. Maybe sometime in the future the organization will get there as well as probably our competitors will get there. But we've learned a lot in going through the process. We're incorporating that into our business going forward. And, you know, the other factor here also is the general economy. When we started the project, the general economy, the markets were at a different place than where they are now.
As you alluded, a lot of the reasons, the rationale for this project are still there, the problems you were trying to address. So without this project coming to fruition, what is the plan? How are you going to achieve the objectives that you were aiming to achieve through the project?
Yeah, Juliana, that's a great question. Remember, the project was a long-term project, not only executing on the deal, but where's EY going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And that's generally true with our entire industry. In terms of shorter term, we're going to announce well into double-digit growth. Our year end is June 30th, really serving our clients around the world. We just announced that we promoted over 960 new partners around the world. So our business is actually thriving, and it's mostly thriving around tech. As you all know, companies around the world continue to transform themselves, in particular from a digital transformation perspective, but they're also transforming themselves from a structural perspective. And now with AI, AI is a big part of what we're going to be doing going forward. In fact, we look at AI from an EY perspective in 3 different areas. One, how do we help our clients implement and deal with AI? One, how do we transform our own business around AI? And then the third bucket really is around how do we help the world with AI, how do we help the world with regulation around AI? One of the things I've been talking to a lot of clients and a lot of people around the world is I hope that governments and business can work together around how we monitor AI. Right now, I would say a mistake would be regulation that we don't even understand what that is. I would encourage country leaders to really look at and forming a commission of business people, government people, experts to really figure out how we should monitor AI as we go forward.